spot, we're going to be having a look at the Sentinel series Marvel Legends Omega Red. Before we actually review, I'm sure somebody's going to ask me, "Hey man, you've got black all over your hands." Unfortunately, I got into a bit of a fight with a pen, but you'll be happy to know that that pen is not going to hurt anybody else. So, needless to say, let's get a look at the packaging here. The packaging shares the exact same design as the Cyclops that I previously reviewed. I can only hope that this review is not going to drag out as long as the Cyclops one did. But a good classic packaging. We've got the blue up the top corner, carries over in the full card, and then we've got the comic book in the background here. Now, Sentinel, or the Sentinel piece included with the Omega Red is the lower torso. It is actually funny to see all these individual parts, and then if you have the first appearance of Spider-Man, he's got this huge head bust of Sentinel there. I got Sentinel, Marvel Legends bottom left-hand corner there. This package includes the lower torso of the Sentinel. I just said that. On the back, it's got his read up here, which I'll read for you guys. I mean, you guys, no, just sit down, relax, I'll read it. It says the Russian mutant Arkady Rasovich was transformed into a super soldier by the KGB, but he could not control his abilities and was placed in suspended animation. Recovered by agents of the ninja clan known as the Hand, Omega Red soon clashed with the X-Men, particularly Wolverine. Omega Red secretes an airborne toxin from his body that kills those in his immediate vicinity. Also, his arms are long coils made of carbonadium. Oh man, an alloy similar to adamantium. There we go. And then his tech specs up at the top hand corner there. I do also like the fact that they point out the character's height, his weight. So he's 6'11". 6'11" and 425 pounds. Eyes red, hair blonde. Now, I absolutely love Omega Red. There's just something about this character that I think he's got one of the neatest designs. I mean, him and Mr. Sinister are probably one of my favorite looking Marvel Legends. And because it just, the figures themselves are great. They're based off of great looking characters. But there you have Omega Red. What I'll do is I'll open up Omega Red here and we'll get a closer look at the figure. This is a gorgeous figure. If we get a closer look at before I review the figure itself, I'll just reach down and give you guys a quick look at the the comic that it came with. It's definitely Rob Liefeld's work. X-Men number 7. There you go. It's not for resale, so don't get any ideas by trying to sell this, guys. There we have the comic. Going back to the figure, it's a really, really nice figure. I think the sculpt on the head is probably one of the nicest of this wave. There's a lot of detail put in there. There's a lot of paint application. I really like the sculpt that they did on the hair itself. He's got the ponytail. It's nice that the ponytail, I mean, it's articulated, but I really don't know why. But they did a nice job on the sculpt on the hair. And he's got the really nice paint scheme of the white with the red. One of the problems I have with this figure, one of the only few problems, is his shoulder pads. It would have been nice, and I guess they couldn't have done it because of the articulation in the torso, but it would have been nice if they kind of adhered the straps right about here, and then the shoulder pads wouldn't have moved as much. With the way that they are now, he's slipping and sliding all over the place there. But and then I think one of his more recognizable characteristics, he's got these really long pipe cleaner tendons, not tendons, like tentacles, I guess, which he can bend and manipulate. Really, really nice detail. I know I've already pointed it out once, but I really like the detailing on the face here. And he's got the knee boots here, which I think he can get away with. I I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd tell Omega Red. I wouldn't make fun of his knee boots because he'd kick my ass. But a little detail on the back there. Really, really nice figure. I mean, there's loads of articulation. The one thing I didn't point out, unfortunately, when I did the Cyclops review was that his torso didn't have the articulation in it. You couldn't bend at the torso with the Cyclops. With the Omega Red, luckily, they have put the torso articulation in. Although you don't get a lot of movement just because of this belt and everything else that's there. But he has, you know, the basic articulation. There's articulation in the head. There's articulation in the shoulders, in the elbows, the wrists, the hands, even in the fingers as well. One good thing too is you can take these tentacles off. Not that you would want to, but in case they get in the way, you can do that. In the way of his accessories, if you want to just stay there for a second, as mentioned, he comes with the lower torso of the Sentinel. And actually the Sentinel is one of the only few Build-A-Figures where if you don't have the full pieces, you can actually just have a diorama with some of the loose pieces, and it, you know, it looks like a battle scene. And Omega Red also comes with a stand, like so. Although again, much like I commented with the Cyclops, I don't see the need for a stand. I know it's nice because there's other later figures that, you know, you need these stands for them to fly. I just don't see the point with Omega Red. Overall, he's one of my favorite figures from this wave. I know there's other figures that, you know, probably top this guy, but he probably stands out. He stands out, at least for me, as one of my top 10 Marvel Legends figures is the Omega Red here. I'm so glad I have this guy. He's a little top heavy and he has some difficulty standing. You kind of have to get the legs just right. And if you own an Omega Red, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But there you have a toy spot on the very impressive Omega Red. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.